quit now. Well, it's 6 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. If Shad can lead us in prayer.
Let's all pray. Father, we thank you, God, for another day that you've given us. Lord, we thank you for your love, your mercy, your grace. Lord, we thank you, God, for being so good to a sinner just like myself. Lord, we're thankful, God, that you know all things and understanding, knowing that in our heart and believing it in our heart. Father, we ask you tonight that you would be with us as we go into this meeting. Lord, that your will might be done. Be with this mayor, be with this council, the elected, all that it takes to make up this meeting tonight. God, I pray that you would be with us, lead, guide, and direct us, give the wisdom and the knowledge to do exactly what you know needs to be done tonight. Lord, we thank you, God, again for all of your many blessings. Forgive us for all of our many sins. All these favors we ask in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Everyone join us for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There are no changes to the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt?
Second.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. No, I don't have to. I asked. Next is item 5, considering for adoption the following meeting minutes. The regular council meeting of October 15th, 2019.
I make a motion.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. Next is the executive session meeting of October 15th, 2019.
I make a motion.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. Item 6, there is none. Item 7, old business. Item A, planning and zoning, rezoning application 2018-320. That was postponed from the last council meeting to give time to review the conditions. Not because we're worried about competition to the city center.
Somebody say that?
Oh, yeah,
You've been reading Facebook.
yeah. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or discussion?
I have a question. Is there any, and I'm sure, I think I read this right, there is housing above commercial, right?
I have to ask Emery to clarify that.
Is there housing above commercial? Is that what this is? I think it's above commercial.
Is it residential above
Do you have
commercial?
any housing?
Williams
Right
says
over
yes.
before them.
Thank you, that's all I want to know.
Yep. I think those are over
I'd
near
ask
the
Kevin.
commercial, right? William?
It shows it in there, that final, any final renderings, approval, subject to approval
Yeah.
by mayor,
Or Jason,
or
When
his
I read-
representative,
when I put it
So-
on you.
yeah. Or you. No?
Have any other questions or discussion?
Well, I don't like the 10 foot between the houses. I don't know why they just don't join them and put up a firewall.
It'd be townhomes at that point, not single family.
Okay.
I mean, that's really what the difference is.
No, but I'm just saying,
Nobody wants any yard to cut.
nobody wants to, they say. All the good people, if they can get them like this. Yeah. I like the road.
You need a motion.
Yeah, I mean, let's, anybody else have any other comments or discussion?
Got anything else? I think everything was addressed.
I have a motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the project.
A second.
Second by Linda, please vote. Carries 4-0, and Christopher Light recusing. I kinda skipped over, and it's my apologies, I'm gonna backtrack 2 seconds. Under acknowledgements, I do wanna acknowledge, Jason May and, Joey Cochran being here tonight. Both of them, have a very, deep love for the city, and both of them ran, a good race. They were both out, standing side by side all day shaking hands, or, shaking signs, I mean. But, and I do want to say this publicly, I witnessed something that I hope to see again, but I'd never seen before. When the results came in, Jason came over to Joey's party and congratulated him man to man in front of everybody, and that was very admirable, and that is meant a lot to me to see that. So I just wanted to acknowledge all that, and appreciate the love for the city from both of them. So, moving on, old business, item B, administration, number 1, fire safety and prevention ordinance.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, this was presented to you at a prior meeting, I think it may have been the last meeting. Actually, you had a couple of different versions of this. This one has a few more updates since the last one, but just a few small things that, was it last, just to look at those? Alan Neal, with Foresight asked us to look at, and it's been renumbered to fit within your current code. Other than that, the purpose of it is to bring us more in line with what Forsyth County's fire prevention ordinance is, for the purposes of having the state fire marshal or his designee inspect buildings in the city, so that there's more of a seamless transition between the city and the county when it comes to those things. Happy to answer any questions if you have any about any of the specific provisions of this. I know there's a lot of information. A good portion of this is already in your ordinances.
Anybody have any questions for Kevin?
See if that gets them through second.
It does, yeah. It brings us, we're up to date with this. Whereas the prior one was, I want to say adopted in 2004, or something along those lines. I'd call that BK before Kevin. So this is this one's updated.
It would be, too,
Any other questions or discussion? No motion to adopt?
Make a motion to adopt the fire safety and prevention ordinance.
Second to move.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. Number 2, recreational trails grant resolution.
So, Mr. Mayor, we mentioned the previous meeting about applying for the recreation trails grant. Going to work real hard on this, getting everything together, and just a couple of things we need to do is wrap this up, get in the system for being open for the grant. We need to approve the resolution that just basically states that we do have the financing to do this project, to do it on the front end, and then be reimbursed our portion of the grant on the backside of it after we complete the project. The grant, if awarded, is $200,000, which would be significant in the work that we want to do on the recreational trail. I'll answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions for Phil? No motion to adopt?
Adopt the resolution.
Second.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. Next is new business. Item A, the street department. Number 1, request to purchase Ventrac multi-purpose tractor.
Mayor, I'm here to present this proposal to the city council.
You just sit right there, you're fine, we can hear you, just sit down, Hugh, we can hear you. Getting back down might be the problem.
No, I called that.
We don't want that.
We are right now in the process of trying to bush hog and do some cleaning up in the city with a tractor and bush hog that's 31 years old. So actually it causes a little trouble from time to time. So the purpose of this today is to ask that you consider purchasing this bin tractor. The tractor is designed for mowing roadways, areas with severe slopes and difficult places to mow with traditional equipment, which is very unsafe. As y'all know, we're trying to cut now behind all the guardrails in the city and keep it look polished as best we can. And we can't do that with the machinery we've got now. We have to do it with manual labor. It takes forever. So this tractor will greatly improve the efficiency of our mowing crews. This piece of equipment has only one vendor in the state of Georgia, and that's Howard Brothers down at Alpharetta. They have 4 or 5 stores, but that's where we deal. The purchase price of this tractor is $44,632, and we only had the one bid. It's the only bid that we could get for this particular piece of equipment, and we would ask that you approve this purchase for this tractor from Howard Brothers. I'm told that this can be purchased as unspent capital improvement money from the 2018 budget. This machine will offer us several things that we have had to almost discontinue, one of which is edging sidewalks, which, you know, we do things that people see, and people appreciate the city looking clean and neat. And our men, I think, take a great deal of pride in what they do. And consequently, by doing the individual stuff that we do, we come in contact with a lot of individuals in the city, a lot of the citizens in the city, and they appreciate the city looking good and clean and neat. And this machine will give us the ability to cut behind these guardrails. It's narrow enough, we can do that. The sickle arm on it, which now on the mower that we have is either up or down, no maneuverability to it at all. This machine will allow us great maneuverability with that sickle machine, and we're going to do the edging of the sidewalks. It has a special piece of equipment that does that. It's on a 30-inch wheel. Now we're doing it with, as y'all know, we're doing it with strings and a mower and a weed eater, which doesn't do too good. And it does have a machine which would be part of the equipment that we've asked for, which is tougher than a finished mowing machine. And we've got plenty of finished mowers at the shop. We've got 6, 7 Skag mowers. But this will allow us to do stuff that we do with the bush hog now, and it will allow us to do it in tight and dangerous places, and to make things look better. So we respectfully ask for y'all to please consider this at this time, and we can, Bill, we can deliver by the end of the year.
So would you rather have the mower, or I could reinstitute the chain gang and we can do it that way?
Actually, I saw a pretty good looking chain gang in town about it. That looked pretty good.
I noticed the quote total, and then it's handwritten, and I'm assuming that's the spreader attachment that got scratched out, so that's the adjusted total. Right.
We didn't feel like we needed the spreader attachment to go
Right.
with it at this time.
And this is the dual wheel, I see, to where you go on more of a slope, so.
Going to a 30%.
Any other questions for Hugh? Do you want the chain gang or a mower?
Let's go with the motion.
You have to feed the game, man.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
They could get on it. They just motion.
I was thinking about log chain when we was filling up them ponds down there at the fairground.
Yeah.
He was down there and had a fire one night and barbecued the pig. Old log chain gangs, he just fell in the fire down there. I think he'd been drinking a little.
You just have to your favorite driveway over on the lake. And
That's-
hook so many chains to it, so many tractors pull his paving machine, you run out of room. You couldn't pull the machine.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of the Ventec multi-tractor.
Second it.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. Thank you, Hugh.
Y'all appreciate it.
As long as we-
Next is item B, the fairgrounds, the recap of the 2019 fair.
Good evening, everyone. I will try to make this as detailed and as short as possible. I don't know if that would be possible, but, basically what you're looking at when it comes to revenues at the fair, you have three items, or three categories that will, generate majority of your revenue. You have your gate, your midway, and your parking. In 2019, out of those three numbers, we had 4 record days compared to 3 last year. When you add those totals up versus 18, it was down 2%. But the reason that is last year, well, last 2 years we've had 2 rain days. You had a Wednesday and you had a Sunday. Saturdays are obviously your biggest days of the fair, but Sundays are your third and fourth biggest days of the fair. In 18, it rained on a Wednesday. You don't have a gate on a Wednesday, so you didn't lose that money. Well, this year it rained on that last Sunday, and we were down 50% on that day to what we normally bring in for that day. So that's why that number is down. But like I say, it's down 2% on that. That just goes to show the importance of weather and when that weather comes in. That's just, you can't deny that. Some positives, our sponsorship dollars were up 26%, which was a record. Our food gross numbers, that all of the independent midway, which is what we handle, their percentage to us was up 6%, which was also a record. Our Coke sales, Coke and water, it was up 9%, which was a record. And we can dissect however you want to do it. I can answer any questions, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, 2019 was the highest gross revenue fair we've ever had. It was up 1% from what the previous record, but 2019 was a record when it comes to that. So, basically, the way that I see it is, the fair was a huge success. A lot of contributing factors. We had great weather, fantastic staff, community support, and more importantly, the support of the American Council when it comes to the fair. We obviously couldn't do it without them. So, thank you all for that. Any questions?
Was your opinion on the increased efficiency, if any, of the bridge and ticket booth to the overall fair?
We were, once the pedestrian bridge got installed, we were able to have a minimum of 3 up to 6 windows open at one time. In the past, at that gate, we never had any more than 2 open at one time. The lines, people got in a lot faster. So with that being said, we were able to take the old ticket booth that was at C, put it at A, which we only had 2 windows open at that time, and we were able to have 3 or 4 there too. So the wait time to get into the fair was a lot less this year because of that.
Did not having the Indian thing, you know, I know we couldn't find an Indian, but not having it open through the week, did that seem to make any difference?
Christopher will wear a headdress next year if we need it.
Get him a Tommy Hawk.
We got any more questions for Tracy on that item? So going on to the next one, number 2, request to purchase a multi-use tractor.
Okay?
But thank you before you start, thank you and all the staff for
Oh,
everything y'all do down there, so it's,
Buttering us up for this.
yeah.
I'll add one thing without Mayor. Also want to thank Chief Marsh, he's here back there, I think.
Oh, yeah.
The PD did a really good job too during the fair this year. I got a lot of comments from people about the sight of police presence inside the fair. And I think they did a good job deterring bad behavior during the fair this year.
yeah, I would like to second that. Thank you, Chief, and also I would like to throw out, the county's help with that as well, the sheriff's department and that. It was, the police presence was, fantastic and, it's important, it really is. All right, this, Massey Ferguson tractor that we are looking to implement, it's a lot on the lines of what you had said. The tractor that we're asking for would be replacing a tractor that's 20 years old and is in need of major repairs. It's not gonna last much longer. I got 3 numbers here.
Give
I
us
got
nice
one for
pictures.
chain equipment for $29,000, one for Mason tractor for $35,000, and then it was a John Deere. I don't know exactly which, dealer, Bert, got this number from, but it was $40,681.20. Basically, the reason it would be a multi-purpose, because it's going to be able to use it for cutting grass, drag the arena. We have a big rubber tire loader that we use after events to help gather all the trash and everything. It will be used for that as well, because included in this price is 2 separate size buckets. One is an oversized, lighter weight bucket for trash purposes, and then the other bucket would be your more industrial type, I guess you could say farming type bucket. I don't know the proper term for that. And also included in that price is the vertical smokestack that's on the tractor would be rerouted underneath, so it would not be of any obstruction when we're dragging the arena, cutting grass. It just makes things a lot easier. So, and this piece of equipment too can be purchased with what's been capital improvement money that was budgeted for 2018. If you have any questions in reference to that, I'll be glad to answer.
All 3 of these the same thing, piece of equipment?
They're all apples for apples, basically.
Different manufacturers.
Yeah. Same size horsepower type tractors, just different price.
Any other questions or comments? Have a motion to approve.
Make a motion, we approve to purchase the multi-use tractor for the fairgrounds. The
Cane equipment,
cane equipment,
29,000.
$29,000 for the Massey Ferguson tractor.
Got a second by
Alright, I'll
Christopher,
second.
please vote. Carries 5-0.
But that is the same tractor as the $40,000 with the same
It's
equipment.
different brand.
Different brand.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, same equipment. Okay,
Right.
thank you.
John Deere is expensive. Thank you, Tracy.
But they look cool, right?
They look good, yeah.
Next, item C, planning and zoning ordinance update for occupational tax.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, and members of the council. This is a pretty straightforward ordinance provision. It doesn't change anything substantive in the ordinance tax. It just increases the tax slightly to remain basically in line with comparable jurisdictions. Scott
Does anybody have any questions?
We're doing this because?
I think just to keep up to date so that we're not basically undercharging.
Is it where we can take action if we choose to?
Yeah, so we can take that at the next meeting.
Then we take action now or not?
You can take action now if you're satisfied
Yep.
with it.
I mean, does anybody have any,
Well, I don't want to
Question.
overtax it because that's hard on a small business. Paying for the number of employees you have.
did the number per employee go up or just the base rate?
Just the base rate, then you have to, obviously.
Yeah, that, yeah, but that part's been that way,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So basically it went up $15.
That's correct. Just to get it more in line with small cities, some of the surrounding cities.
Okay.
And I think new notices go out in December, is that right?
That's correct.
What's the pleasure of the board? Do you want to act or put it off till the next meeting?
Makes sense to me. Yeah, we'll act.
I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance to amend, occupation tax. Second.
Whatever you call that, Cal.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. Next is item D, administration. Number 1, the 2020 budget.
Sir, Mr. Mayor, you have in your packet, the proposed 2020 budget for the city. It's included in with a comparison for the 2018-19 budget. First of all, let me just touch on 2019, we're doing really good this year, on our revenues and, we're doing exceptionally good on our expenditures. I really do feel that we're gonna finish 2019 in a very good fashion, 2019 budget, in good shape. For 2020, you will notice, lesser revenue projected for 2020 and 2019. There was some legislation earlier in the year to cut our percentage of ad valorem tax revenue on car tags that's affected this. We've budgeted for that for next year. We're looking at possibly, as the previous item, looking at some, fee changes that'll help offset that, in some different departments. Nothing major, just, enough to get us mainly current with all of our, neighbors. We want to be in the ballpark with all of them on our fees. You'll see, that, just a slight decrease in revenue projected for 2020. If you, take time to review this, if you have any questions, myself, Jeff, Alex, we'll be glad to sit down with anybody and go over it, whatever you want to do. And, we'll, hopefully, if we get everything answered, all your questions answered by the next, meeting, the regular meeting in this month, hopefully we'll move to approve. Answer any questions you have right now, but you have any.
One thing to note, our general fund budget has went down for each of the last 2 years. We're 800,000 below where we were in 2018. So we went down back-to-back years. Any questions for Phil?
Just, Kevin, tell them how the process.
It'll be the budget hearing you'll have
Right.
at the next meeting, and then you'll vote, you can vote after that. So the
Right.
hearing is what we'll do the next meeting.
I'm just saying, does anybody got any questions right now?
That was my only
Yep.
question.
Yeah.
I heard you say it, so I just wanted to.
Right. All right. Moving on, number 2, the joint agreement from the City of Cumming and the DDA.
Mayor, members of the council, this is related to the recreation trails grant resolution that you've already approved tonight. Here's the way this works. We're applying for that grant with the Department of Natural Resources Recreational Trails Program. That's something that Jennifer and Phil have been working with the Georgia Mountain Regional Commission on to try and get us that money. It's anticipated, once the city center is developed, that management and control of the day-to-day operations of the city center will be transferred to the Downtown Development Authority to handle that on a daily basis. We've discussed that before. That allows us to give longer-term leases to tenants and that sort of thing. When we do that, when we transfer that control, the Georgia Department of Natural Resources wants to know that whoever we're transferring control to is going to maintain the recreational trails. Otherwise, they're not going to give us the grant. And so this is an agreement that will run for a period of 4 years, which is the period that the trails are supposed to remain in place between the city and the DDA for whether it's the construction of it, the maintenance of it, the insurance on it, to make sure that the trails are going to be there, going to be maintained, are going to be open for use by the public pursuant to the recreational trails program for that time frame. Even though it's your DDA, it's technically a separate body, and so they're going to have to, you're going to have an agreement with them on that, how we're going to do all that. For what it's worth, you can certainly, you can approve this tonight, or you can approve this, I guess, at the regular meeting this month. It's up to you, whichever one you want to do. Your DDA is meeting on next Monday to take a look at this and to approve this resolution as well, this joint use agreement as well. Happy to answer any questions about it, but that's the purpose of this agreement.
Who actually is going to oversee it then?
Well, once the property is turned over to the DDA, which is what we're all anticipating will happen, the Downtown Development Authority will be the one who oversees the recreational trails at the city center
And that would be
site.
Jennifer, since there's,
Well, see, with
No,
this grant, we
she's-
can't use the property
She-
for 4 years.
She works for the DDA, it'd be the DDA itself, and they,
They just have to maintain it.
And it's basically an agreement that to get the grant, that property will stay as a trail system.
And the trail system's going through the park in the middle and going around the perimeter
well,
of the
basically
property.
she'll
It's,
keep up with it. The DDA won't, because they're individuals, they're not.
well, they're a group, but,
but it may change, it may not, who knows who it'll be at that time.
yeah. Just have a provision if the DDA doesn't, then it falls back on the city.
Well,
Is
there's a
that not-
provision in here for defaulting and then terminating it, and we bring it back into the city.
Gotcha.
We are absolutely covered on that.
Right.
That's, but really wants to read it, it's section 9.
Right.
Yeah, of the agreement.
Any questions or discussion for Kevin? It seems prudent to probably adopt it tonight so that they can adopt it next week.
That'd be perfect if you're
Would-
ready to adopt it.
Kevin, would I need to recuse on that, since I'm on the
Because you're
DDA?
On the board of the DDA, I do think.
Or does it matter on something like this?
Yeah, no, she's on the development authority. He's the downtown.
Not downtown.
She develops that right now. I think it would be appropriate if you just on this. At the end of the day, this is not creating any kind of conflict of interest or anything like that. No one's going to necessarily benefit from it without the interest for. Since you do serve on that board, I think it's appropriate for you to refuse.
Have a motion to adopt.
Oh,
Second.
Please vote. Carries 4-0 with Jason Evans recusing. Next is item E, the Aquatic Center request to replace dehumidification unit for the indoor competition pool.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Unfortunately, Carla couldn't be here tonight. She's the president of the GRPA, and they had a meeting tonight that she had to attend, so I'm filling in for her. This dehumidification unit for the indoor pool. The pool requires 2 units to properly maintain the indoor competition pool. And that's to control, it's basically controlling the humidity so you can breathe inside there. They have to keep the water at a certain temperature and the air at a certain temperature. If that gets out of whack, if the water gets too hot or too cold, for competition, it won't work. If the air gets too hot or too cold, especially too hot, you would not be able to breathe inside there. So it takes 2 units to work. One of our existing units is currently operating at less than 50% capacity and is nearing the point of this repair. The cost of repairs that are likely needed for this unit make replacing it with a new unit much more practical. bids, for the unit. One is from Dakin, $284,900. The other is for Thermal Resource Sales, Inc., that's $296,109. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of manufacturers out there that make these units. It's my recommendation that we approve the bid, for the unit from Dakin in the amount of $284,900. And I will be happy to, as best as I can, answer any questions regarding this.
Where's the funding coming from?
We can fund this through, unspent capital money for this year. She's also got some equipment money left that she's not
Okay.
spent for this year also. We can fund it, that way. The thing is, we have to order it soon, get it in by next spring, before, when she really needs to get it put in is
Right.
during the spring. Before it starts getting warmer weather, that's when it's affects the most. We do have funds available, to pay for this. We won't take a big hit on our operating budget by doing this.
Okay. Any questions for Phil?
Not for nothing, but when we first built the aquatic center, these things got out of whack and it snowed inside.
Yeah. Well, remember that? I do remember this. These units are.
Can you set it to do that on purpose? Cause that would be neat.
These units were put in when the aquatic center was built, so they're approaching 10 years old, getting close to it. And there's just so much corrosion in the air over there because of the humidity that things just don't last
Right.
in that building. And that, Shad nodding his head back there, he knows from his stuff that he's put in over there.
Right.
It's gotta be cycled out quicker than most parts.
And what is this costing?
284.
284,000.
Is that something that's been repaired over
And
time?
we have linked it along, this unit, the other unit is working okay right now, but we know probably in a couple of years, we're probably gonna have to replace it too. But, it is operating, fine right now.
Make a move that we replace it for the 289, 900. 284, thinking
That's not preferable.
Got a motion, to have a second?
Second.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. Next is the police request to purchase record management program.
It's the holidays, everybody's wanting to buy stuff.
Council, I appreciate you guys. So this is a request to replace our existing record management system. It's aging. We can't do reports or any kind of paperwork inside of our vehicles on our mobile data terminals. I guess there's a couple different options that we had, and I believe this is the most cost efficient of the two. The sheriff's office currently runs enormous records management systems with all their vehicles and all of their cars, and they purchased this several years ago with a multi-agency use understanding that other agencies could buy licenses to run off their particular records management program. So the fire department works off of this, and they suspected at some point that we might want to run off their system as well. So the recommendation is to buy licenses for each of our officers and a couple of licenses for our office staff so that we can use their existing records management system. That'll allow us to do reports in our cars, accident reports, incident reports, all the stuff that our guys are currently doing with the aging system. It would just allow us to do those, and we wouldn't have to purchase any separate servers, no storage space, no cloud space, anything like that. All that's already being run through the county systems right now. The other alternative is to buy our own records management program, and I got a couple of quotes on that through the same company and through others, and those are in the neighborhood of $250,000 to $280,000 for us to run our own. And then the downside of that is it wouldn't talk to the counties. So we would have to be running two separate programs, which means that some of the stuff would be interactive, like our mobile dispatch, our booking reports for the jail, and some other stuff that we use the county for, so.
Well, it seems important to have those cross-references.
I agree.
Well, does this include your licensing, or is it just
Yeah, it's
for the
the-
program?
It's the
Yeah, so
license.
beauty is all we have to buy is the licenses. We
we don't have to buy any hardware, we don't have to buy any software. All the stuff that we're currently running works, it's just got a little gray button that we would turn on to allow us to run all our reports through their records management system.
And that costs $60,000.
Yes, ma'am. And that has the equipment to do it. That's right, we just need the right, we just didn't have the program to run. So, like I said, the two options were either buy our own standalone program or to use the county's existing program. And that's what this recommendation is for, to use the county's existing program.
I make a motion that
Is
we
there,
buy
is
the-
there additional yearly fees that they impose on that?
My understanding
That's,
is
just-
that this is for individual licenses for all of our officers. It will be good for as long as we're running the system. At some point, we might need to add users, and how the
Yeah.
agency grows, and if we have other staff and members like that, we might need to add additional licenses for that. But it's my understanding this is just a one-time purchase fee, so that we can go into their network.
Any other questions?
That's what you say, I think we should adopt it. I'll make a motion to adopt it. $60,000.
Have a second?
Second.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. Thank you, David. Next is announcements. The Cumming Steam Antique Tractor and Gas Engine Expo is this weekend, November the 8th and 9th at the fairgrounds. And to add on to that, to pass on to the council, and Phil, been invited to join them for dinner at 6 o'clock Friday night at Horton Hall. All of y'all are invited. Next is item B, the Veterans Day ceremony, Monday, November the 11th at 11 at the Veterans War Memorial. Weather permitting, I guess if not, it'll go to the arena. And then the next thing is at the School Street Playhouse, this Thursday at 8, Friday at 8, Saturday from 3 to 8, Sunday at 3 is Remember Broadway with our world-renowned councilwoman Linda Ledbetter performing. That's it.
Well, you add some of that in there, didn't you?
I might have embellished a little bit.
Well, I thought you might have added a word or two in there.
Next is executive session. Kevin?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, we need executive session for the purpose of discussing real estate transactions as well as personnel matters.
I have a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Motion passes 5-0.
We need a motion to approve the continued utilization of Brinson Askew to administer the hotel logo tax collection.
So moved.
Second.
Please vote. Carries 5-0.
And then a motion to enter into a contract with Belton based upon the review and analysis of the bids we have received for the construction manager position for the city center. So moved.
Second.
Please vote. Carries 5-0. I have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Please vote.
Second, third, fourth.
Carries 5-0.